Hey everyone! So today I wanted to talk about games. Surprise! I thought today would be really fun to talk about something I've had an idea to do for a while, but I figured because of all of the games that I've been able to play over the years, full-time streaming, gaming, all of that, I have a little bit of experience under my belt. So I figured I would be able to be a pretty good source to give some game recommendations to you all based on the things that I've played. So for our first video today, I wanted to talk about the subject of short environmental storytelling or playable art. Let me break these down for you and give you some thoughts on these games so that you can decide if you want to play some for yourself. So first up, we have Journey, like I mentioned. Journey, I feel like, is like the classic example of this style of game. Now, it's a beautiful landscape. You start as this being in a robe and you can interact with these symbols and things that allow you to have brief moments of flight and levitation, and you just kind of go through a journey that seems something akin to enlightenment. And throughout the game, you just have like these beautiful, rich colored areas that you explore. As you can see here, you have like beautiful sands. There's shimmering sands that you slide around, all kinds of old ancient buildings that you climb. There's some light puzzles in it. You have dark caves, you have a snowy mountain. There's all of these things, and you can do all of this experience in about 2 hours. So it's not a long game, but it really somehow makes you feel. Every time I play it, I feel like I'm really enraptured. Plus, there's kind of a New Game Plus mode where you have like a regenerative, longer flight form. And not to mention, it's also multiplayer. So you can find other people randomly around the world that you can sync up with, and you can help each other as you go along. So it looks like Journey is available on the PS4, PS3, on your iOS, and on PC. So feel free to jump on that and grab it. Okay, next up we have Flower. Now, Flower is a really nice, mostly calm game where you literally start off as a flower petal. And the whole idea is that you are using the wind to carry your flower petal around and gather other flower petals from flowers nearby until you become a mass that's large enough to make some kind of difference, some kind of change in your environment. So you start in this really nice meadow. It's a lovely warm-up, and you kind of like build yourself up. So there's just gentle music and a very gentle environment. There's no words. Very similar with Journey, there's no talking. And then you go into more urban and industrial environments, and it gets harder to kind of traverse. And so there's a whole narrative in there that you'll be able to see. But it's just a really nice, gentle journey. Definitely give it a shot. It came out originally for the PlayStation 3, and I think you can play it as well on potentially the Vita, PS4, iOS, and Windows. So yeah, give that a look. And if you need something relaxing with maybe a little smidge of like hardship, then definitely try Flower. Okay, next up we have Abzu. Now, Abzu, I believe, is made by the same company that did Journey. So you know it's going to be good if you've played Journey and you want kind of a similar experience. However, Abzu takes place all underwater. So it looks like you're some kind of diver traveling through an underwater space and trying to kind of figure out what's going on. A lot of these narratives are less clear, more vague. It's all about the environments and the way you explore in the environments and kind of traverse that. So you come in contact with a bunch of different sea creatures, and there's little nooks and crannies you can explore and things you can find. It's another game that's shorter, only a couple hours. Most of these are only a few hours total to get through. So feel free to check that out. All of these games are just lovely forms of art, just taking place in a movable space inside of a game. So you just get to move through the artistic landscapes that somebody's created for you. And you can place kind of the meaning that you want on most of these games. So let's move into our last recommendation for today. Oh, by the way, you can play Abzu on a bunch of different platforms, including the Switch, PS4, Xbox One, Windows, so PC, and it even says Amazon Luna. The last one I want to recommend today is called Grease. It's Gris. Now, Grease is a beautifully artistic game. It definitely has more of a artistic vibe to it. You can tell with the way that they introduce color throughout the game. But you play as this like small character who seems to fall into another space and they kind of have to climb their way up and maybe find strength again or confidence. It's kind of the meaning that you place on it. There's definitely a history mixed in there, but it's much more subtle than a typical game. So it's kind of open to interpretation like the others are, which is great. And I think throughout your experience, the way that you interact with the types of spaces that you move through is really compelling. You have these beautiful pastel colors that blend into each other, and it's kind of like a watercolory landscape that, again, you add colors back in as you go along. And so it makes for like a really beautiful artistic, like you're running through a painting almost. Not only did I like the puzzles in that, but I loved anytime I brought in a new color and was able to find my way to the next area. Plus, the soundtrack for this game is awesome. It's really, really nice. I have most of it on my like relaxing games playlist. So I like listening through that. It's gorgeous. It's got like some lovely vocals. And again, it's all very environmental. You only have a few bits of text throughout the game, and the rest of it's just environment and sound and some movement and platforming. You can play this on even more different platforms, which is great. You can play it on the Switch, on either type of, any type of phone, basically. PS4, PS5, Xbox One. You can play it on Mac. It's actually Mac compatible. You can play it on Xbox Series X. You can play it on, I don't know, it's got a bunch of stuff. Well, thank you all for checking out this video. I hope that you enjoyed the recommendations. Let me know if you've played them or if you haven't and you are excited to try one out. Or if you're like, ooh, you missed this really amazing one, please let me know. I'd love to include more and do follow-ups. I can also recommend games in other types of categories. I have all kinds of really fun ones that I'd be happy to talk about, like other types of puzzle games or like chill sim games. So if you want more recommendations for me, because I have a big list of games under my belt, feel free to let me know in the comments and I would be happy to do some more of these. Alrighty, hope you're enjoying all the daily videos. Feel free to check out my other ones from this month and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye.